Welcome to today's 2-Minute Prophecy. I want to take a moment to talk a little bit about Abraham. And really, Abraham is one of the most important figures in the Bible when it comes to understanding why it is that things are going on today in the Middle East. Before I get into that reason, I want to talk a little bit about what happened early on in Abraham's life. And this is 2,100 years before Christ. Abraham gets a vision of 400 years of his descendants in Egypt being oppressed, the time of Moses. Genesis 15 verses 12 through 16, we read that evening as the sun was going down, Abraham fell into a deep sleep. He saw a very terrifying vision of darkness and horror. Then the Lord told Abraham, "You can be sure that your descendants will be strangers in a foreign land, and they will be oppressed as slaves for 400 years. After 4 generations, your descendants will return here to this land when the sin of the Amorites has run its course." So right there we get a reason of why God knew and wanted Joseph to be taken into slavery and have his family come into Egypt and for 400 years be slaves to Pharaoh. Now, they weren't slaves for 400 years. Joseph found favor with Pharaoh. Pharaoh had his family brought to Egypt, and eventually the Pharaohs forgot about what Joseph and his family had done and saw that the Israelites were gaining in population and decided to destroy part of them. So they destroyed the firstborns, and they tried to do it a couple times. So at that point, Moses comes out. God sends Moses to lead his people out of Egypt. But the whole point of that 400 years is to allow the sin of the Amorites that are living in the land of Canaan, in the land of Israel today, to run its course. And God had given him plenty of chances to understand who he was and his love for them, but they wouldn't do it. He allowed the sin to run its course, and then he sent his people to take over the land. And during that time, who were the Amorites? Those were the people of Canaan that had turned their backs on knowing who God really was. And those are the people, the descendants of them, that they weren't totally taken care of by the Israelites. The Israelites didn't kill everybody when they went back into their land. And some of those descendants are the Arab nations of today. And we're going to get in a little bit of that over the next couple days with Abraham and Muslims. And that's your 2-Minute Prophecy.